it's funny because and I guess I shouldn't talk about my private life. I just came
Mm-hmm.
back from Africa
Mm-hmm.
and I went to a wedding and I met all types of people. My cousin, he's a doctor. He married a doctor. And
Nice.
so that was kind of interesting. So we had other people of that kind of esteem in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a content creator, I got a following, whatever. So I kind of felt right at home, what I'm saying, with all these people rubbing elbows and shit. But I've realized I met two women who one was a doctor, one was a lawyer, and attractive women.
Mm-hmm.
Attractive women. I'm not going to lie. They were attractive women. But they refused to tell me their age.
Mm.
And in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I thought to myself, like, in what world could you date a man and hide your age? You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
revealed it, right? You have to be north of 40. That's what my thoughts are. Like, oh, you don't tell me your age?
Or pretty
You're
much there, yeah.
41. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or just right on the cusp of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, what they're also saying was, my age doesn't matter. I could get
No.
you without you knowing my age. Like, you don't need to know it. You would still want me anyway, because again, I can perform in the bedroom. I make all this money. Like, look over here. Don't look over here. Look over here, type of thing,
But
So,
but I think they're communicating to you that age does matter because they won't tell you. If they really thought it didn't matter, they would have told you. So they're actually communicating the opposite to me.
yeah, it's kind of a weird. So it's illogical, right? So it's like I remember you're telling me to like that, like about like logic courses and stuff. So I started studying logic, and about this is something I'm 37 years old and I just discovered the 3 laws of logic. Have you came across this?
I have. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but whenever someone goes against them, it's pretty easy to recognize.
Yeah. So one of the things was one of the laws is the law of, so there's the law of identity,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a law of non-contradiction.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the last law is the law of excluded middle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that's it, right? So women love this gray area, and that's why I thought that logic was interesting. The excluded middle, saying there is no gray area, it's either this or that, right? So like the law of identity says A is A. The law of non-contradiction says A is not non-A.
Mm-hmm.
And the law of excluded middle says it's either A or non-A. It can't be both of them.
Correct.
But women make this false logic where they feel like their age is not important, but then they hide it. Mm-hmm. That's why it's a logical fallacy, right? Because it broke by that law right there, where it's like, you're right, they're hiding it, but they're also assuming at the same point that it doesn't matter. And there's a conflict there logically, right? There's a conflict with being both of those things at the same time, So I do agree with you, but I do also think that
basically their actions, their actions are saying that it matters.
But part of their actions is not lowering their standards, though. And so if it does matter, these women, I talk to them, they're doctor lawyers, they don't want to date a man that makes less than 200 grand a year.
Okay.
So to me, like, they feel like no matter what age they are, they can qualify for that. Clearly, right? Okay. Like, to me,
you know what it is. When we've gone through about 6-7 years of social media of hearing about all of this delusion and all these women saying these things, outside of me speaking directly to them, I let them. Because remember, if I don't qualify in their eyes, even though they probably wouldn't qualify for me, what am I going to convince her that I'm the guy? What am I going to convince her she needs to look at me differently? Why would you want a woman that already made it known from the beginning that she doesn't want you and doesn't think you meet her standards? Why? Who wants to fight for that type of love and affection versus a woman that starts off liking you? So no. So when you hear that, when I hear it, I actually feel bad for them. I feel bad, especially when they're aging, when they get into that point when they're in at risk geriatric pregnancy territory. All right, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It is what it is, and for me, they not knowing what I make, not knowing what I do, and not knowing where I'm heading. Once you reveal that's what's in your heart and how you see men, I'm saying, of course, you should have a standard. But when you start getting to these ridiculous 0.01% of men foolishness standards, and even less percent when you only whittle it down to just black men, and you're talking that way, and you don't look like women that are in Hollywood, or even if you do, but you're 42. All right, if you want to, that's fine. I just know that the guys, 99% of the guys who make that, they're going to pick the younger alternative that can give them kids if they don't have any, if they want them. And then number two, even if you don't want any kids, if she looks just like you but she's younger, why would he, like, it doesn't, like, they just don't see things through the male lens, and that's why they end up in those situations. So for me, I allow Father Time and Mother Nature to talk to them. They're gonna have a conversation. Why would I waste the words? Because that lesson gonna be real hard, and it's gonna be super clear. And when we get to that point of 2030, 2035, 2040, I think a lot of them are going to get to the place where they're going to be approaching women, asking them if the men that they're with, or if these ladies would be open to sharing their husbands and men. They're going to come straight out with it and ask. I'm telling you, I'm putting money on it. The women that think that they're too good for men now, we ain't going to do the whole behind the side joint or being a little, because they're not going to want to go the next 30 years being the woman that was in her career was a success, but relationally was a failure. They're not all going to do it. They're not all going to do it. And that pride, that all that, what the group going to think, what everybody going to think. Listen, that's going to go out the window when you kept by a guy that everybody else want, and you're number two. What's the saying? It's better to be a king's concubine than a peasant's wife. They're gonna do that. They're gonna do it. I know, like, so I'm telling you, it's coming.